Good morning again. We're going to do our warm up really quick. Go as quick as we can with these things. 57 plus 8. We're going to use our head so it's better. Yep, here we go. Oh, it says practice splitting the second number to add. If I take 3 away from 8, that would give me 7 plus 10. That would be 60, and I would be left with 5, so it would be 65. And if I split the second number on this one, I need to take away 2. That means 78 plus 2 is 80, plus the 4 left over would 84. And this one I only need to take away 1, which gives me 53, because I have the 3 left over. And number sense. Okay, so this one we're going to just add them up. Here we got 63 plus 19, which is like 20. So 62 plus 20 is, because I took away 1 from the 63, so I think about it differently, I guess. 62 plus 20 is 82, plus 200 would be 282. Johnsons are driving to Yosemite National Park. They expect that the drive will take 6 hours. If the Johnsons left their house at 6:50 a.m., what time would they expect to arrive at the park? So if it's 6 hours, they left at 6:50, and they add 6 hours, it's going to be 6 plus 6 is 12, and then 50, and it's not going to be AM, it's going to be PM by the time they get there, right? Yeah, that should be about right. Okay, measure. Many adults are about 2 yards tall. 2 yards is how many feet? Oh, they keep reminding us, how many feet is that? So it should be about 6 feet. It's a real common height. Okay, true or false? Parallel lines intersect. They cross each other. That is definitely false, because parallel lines go on forever and they never touch. Madison has $18.47. Round this amount to the nearest 25 cents. All right, next thing we're going to do, we're going to choose an appropriate problem-solving strategy to solve this problem. Here are 4 squares, and the first is made up of 1 small square. The second and third and fourth squares are made up to 4, 9, and 16 small squares. Describe the pattern you see. How many small squares would make up the 6th square of the pattern? Explain how you arrived at your answer. Well, if we look at this, we start with 1 square, and then we put 1 around each side of it, and it just makes it bigger. And then again, we have the starting with the 4 here, and then we add another and another, and we have another column and another level of rows. So if we do it 1 more, we would be adding 1 more row of column and 1 more row. Okay, so columns are the up and down, and rows are the across horizontal or on flat. So columns and rows. There we go. Next slide. There are 43 apples in the large basket. There are 19 apples in the smaller baskets. The difference tells us how many more and how many fewer. There are 24 more apples in the large basket than in the small basket, and there are 24 fewer apples in the small basket than in the large basket. So we're doing a comparison a little bit here. So when we compare the number of apples in the 2 baskets, we see that 43 is greater than 19. To find how much greater 43 is than 19, we subtract, as I show you here. And that's how they found the distance. Okay, you always subtract from the larger number. Otherwise, it goes below 0, which is kind of confusing, and you don't want to have to deal with that right now in 5th grade. Okay, now we have, recall we solve a word problem using the 4-step problem-solving process, which is read it and translate the problem, make a plan to solve the problem, follow the plan and solve the problem, and check your answer for reasonableness. See if it's about right. And we're just talking about the same thing, just a little bit more. That's an interesting way they drew it out. Looks nice. And example 1, so we're looking at differences in this one. A lot of differences in this one. So, and we're also, a number line to help us see the difference too. That's really nice in example 3. Notice how they used a number line. They have a different number here, but we have the larger number being 42. And we're taking away 26, and then and then we're coming out with what is the difference here between 42 and 26. And it's 16. All right, now we're going to do numbers 1 to 3 because it says solve equations for 1 to 3. So we're going to do all of those ones, 1 to 3. There are 43 parrots in a flock. Some flew away. So I have 43 parrots. Some flew away or went away. Then there were 27 parrots in the flock. How many flew away? So our formula is we start with 43. And this assignment, remember, is about comparing and subtracting. So we're going to subtract the sum that flew away, and we're going to use P because they're parrots. So P equals, and I have 27 after they flew away. So there's 27. And we've done a lot of families. Remember, there's 4 different ways I can write this, two negative and 2 positive. We're going to want the positive version of it, maybe, or the negative. It doesn't matter. We're going to, actually the negative version. So we're going to do this. Remember, if I subtract this from 43, I could also subtract this and get the P number. So if I do this and I subtract 27, it equals P. And then you get my answer. All right, now on number 2, 150. Okay, check it out. We're practicing reading our numbers. It's 150 is how much greater. So I have subtract than, I don't know. We don't know. It's some number. That's why they use in. It's some number. So how much greater, I don't know, some number n than 23. And then I have this, 23. Do the same thing you did on number 1. Swap your numbers around. Number 3, 23 apples. All right, here's my number. So I have 23. Is how many fewer than 75 apples? Okay, so we have 75 minus some number equals 23. All right. On Saturday morning, okay, now we're going to do the odds. So I'm going to zip through those. An expanded form. Oh, what a cool thing. Then use word form to write the number. You guys can do that, but it is 2 problems. So you have to do the 400 plus, etc., plus. Then you use words and you write it out in words that you should know how to spell. 400. All right, I'm going to stop there. Let you finish it. Number 5, the rectangle shown to the right is 4 centimeters long, 2 centimeters wide. I even marked it for you. Check that out. What is the perimeter? How much is it to go here to here to here to here? So if I go 2 centimeters this way and I go 4, and I go 2, and then I go 4, what's that total number? Add it all together. Number 7, write 2 addition facts and 2 subtraction facts for this. Great practice. You can do that. The number represented by 2, or by point A, is how much less than the number represented by point B. So we'll figure out what point B is, because B is the bigger number, right? It's bigger, shows it's bigger than this one. And we'll figure out which one's bigger. So there are, between 100 and 25, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. 5 times 5 is 25. So that means each one of these dots represents 5. That's how I figured it out. All right, so that means if it's 100, then the next dot is going to be 105, and the next dot is 110. And then this one is 75, 80, 85, right there, right? So I'll write it down for somebody who's not paying attention. Okay, then I take my big number and I subtract my smaller number. So I write it out like this, subtract 85, and then do the math. Okay, next problem. How many quarters equal $1? Oh, I saw that somewhere. A quarter is 0.25 cents, right? So how many of those is going to make me have 100 cents or $1? A quarter is what fraction of a dollar? that means it's how many of these? One of these to how many in a dollar. So it's going to be what number over however many it takes to get into a dollar. Okay, 3/4 are what fraction of a dollar? So that one's going to be 3 over, and that number that you had to figure out for how many it took to get into a dollar. 16. Oh no, 15. 309 is how much less than 309? Oh, that's simple. You just do the subtraction. You just have to write that one out. No problem. 17, use fraction. 19 do the math. We have to regroup right here, though. Make sure you pay attention to that. And there's another regrouping right there. And there's regrouping right here. And then 23. Oh, we just used where we switch these two numbers right here. Should give us an answer, right? And then we need to find a square root. Oh, this is not very hard. A square root means what number times what number equals 9. That is actually not too hard, but I will ask you to do that on your own. Just like, well, let's see. I'm going to show you another one. If I did the square root of 4, that would equal 2, because 2 times 2 equals 4, right? And if I did, and if I did 3, 4, I better do 4. So the square root, 4 times 4 equals 16, right? So if the square root of 16 would be 4. So that's how you do square roots. Multiple choice. Which one of these does not equal 9? 3 squared. Do you know what it means for something to be squared? If you don't, that means you've multiplied it by itself 2 times. So this is 3 times 3, or it could be written out this way. And they both all equal the same thing. The square root of 18. Let's see. I don't know about that one. 81. Remember, we just did square roots up here, so you should be able to do, you don't have to do 26. Make it extra credit. All right, then in 27, you're going to multiply here. This is pretty simple. And the next slide, we're going to do 29. Estimate, so we don't have to have the exact answer. The land area of Aztec Ruins National Monument in Mexico is 318 acres. The land area of Casa Grande Ruins National Monument in Arizona is 473 acres. What is a reasonable estimate of the total acreage of these two national monuments? Well, the quickest way would be to round these to the nearest 10, and would give us a really close estimate, because see, this number 318 is very close to 320, and this one 473 is really close to 470. And if you see, 470 is less than, and this one is more than, and not very much difference. It's only 1. Our estimate will only be 1 off. So add those two together and you have a reasonable estimate, and I've given you a good explanation as well.